Well, I have a question for those mentally retarded people in America who haven't understood what 221 was and why it came back in this format. What inspires you? What inspires you to reopen on the coastlines from the pink that you couldn't reopen, which is cancer corporations, grays and black corporations, by attacking the girl who's replacing the other girl who had her head smashed in on the coastlines? What was that social security number, Delph? In other words, why is there the Scotland film and Radio Globo? And why are you, with your cheerleading Jews, Hispanics, and other retards, still wanting to kill Disneyland? Now, the fact that you are mentally retarded is not my problem, it's yours. The fact that you cannot open that shit on the coastlines with the void tells me, old news on the news, that you're retarded and you have pretenses. The fact that you can't get a PhD and reopen that shit on the coastlines tells me that you're not the most intelligent. The fact that you cannot look at yourselves and see that you lost intel on the coastlines and you call me the terrorist as Disneyland tells me you're not a country. And the fact that this is called Celebre and they want us out of this country after what happened on the coastlines, they brought back Disneyland to show that to you. Now, my parents, especially my mom, said, just be nice, let them feel special about themselves after smashing your head on the coastlines. And they might smash your head again as Disneyland if you offend them, because they can't reopen that shit on the coastlines. Their PhDs can't do it. Their cheerleaders want you dead. And we have Dr. Parrots just for the extras and the psychos and the stalkers. In other words, a collective of retards. In other words, 221, the number, shouldn't exist on this planet with people like you. In other words, we should stay out of this country. Okay? And that's just speaking about me. All right? That's one. Now, why the intelligence would have brought back a replacement child beats me, but, it does happen. It's a blimp, and that's it. I don't know how they did the blues, because a smashed in head on the coastlines is a smashed in head on the coastlines. It's history, and that shit's lost. So if they bring back those kids, those phenomena as Disneyland, I don't know whether they're doing it to make a point in history or maybe a cost with the corporations, ship, the yacht, the bridges. She wasn't alone on the coastlines. It tells me that you still haven't understood. In other words, it happened in your country and you're still denying it. Second, I don't appreciate stupid Jews and stupid chulas and stupid people from Fresno stalking me with their psychos. I don't even mind after some time from crab to crabby to, if someone has a knife and wants to have sex, it's like pecking order of the lowest of the low. In other words, but then they remove you. Now, the reason they do that is simple. They don't want you coming near Disneyland. Why? I don't know, because there were losses and the corporations are showing that was a big loss. So if you go near the Mademoiselle Innocence, with cheerleaders and haters, and I just want to kill you right now, what they're showing is that you're not worth being called a country. Not on the coastlines, after what happened with the smashed in head or the cheerleaders. And as much as you don't like listening to this from Disneyland because it makes you feel uncomfortable, my uncomfort was the fact that that girl had a smashed in head. She made history around the world with her space tech and science, which was lost. You, on the other hand, took it out on Disneyland's version of that girl because it made you feel like woman and man. Considering that you don't have enough brains to figure out why I came back in this format, tells me that there's limits not only to growth, but there's limits to your pea-sized brains with your cheerleaders. So when you have a collective of stalkers coming out of Fresno or wherever in the US and California, it's not a question of witch hunt, because the girl already is dead. You're witch hunting the Disney version of that girl. 221, Delph, literally from Holland, the wormhole to the worm of the UN project. Those sciences are dead on your coastlines. That's old news for the Indios. Connect the dots for whites to blue bats. You, on the other hand, have such audacity and such pretenses that even if I tell you the storyline, it offends you. So it's not a question of educated or not educated, money or not money, limos or not limos. This is who you are as people. So when they started shouting on the streets about a dead baby, even the Dar es Salaam neighborhoods not believing that the child had come back and remembering my face somehow and saying, wait a minute, didn't I see that face before on my little crawlies, also on the crawlies? Then it shows to me in those capital cities that you're a heap of shit just for denying that girl's existence and doing, I have to kill that bitch, I don't like you. It was pointless to bring back Disneyland. Pointless, because it shows what people you are in the US. Now, considering that we have The Hague on the coastlines with Dirk Jan van Dam already long ago, with shit that's empty, and corporations that are suing you to the mountains and back, and not the pink ones, because the pink ones are easy with cancer. The pink ones also, though, and grays and blacks. I, as that girl who used to do the sciences, am the replacement child. Meaning, I am the Disney version of the girl who had her head smashed in. So when Gabor said there's limits to growth with Prisoner's Dilemma, he meant we can only bring back a certain amount of you, whether it's pink or blues. Ship the yacht to Bridges. If you still haven't understood that from kindergarten, and that's the old news on the news, the nails, and you haven't understood the Scott Glenn film and Radio Global, then you're a heap of shit. No amount of PhDs and no amount of limousines, girlfriends or boyfriends is going to bring that shit back from the ghost lines. Sorry. So when they said attempted prostitution in Poland and they started attacking the Ukrainian who was friends with Heine, people were violently beating that Ukrainian guy on the streets, and the police and the local police and the German police, it showed to me that your stalkers from Fresno or wherever they are what they are. They're federal prisoners, and when we see Intel with The Hague and we see Void, we stop. And then we bring back Disneyland. Then we see psychos following her. What do we do with cheerleaders? What do we do? Other than Dr. Parrots as extra paperwork for the federal Italian tribunal, which you call AKA the Roman pink-ass tribunal. Hello. What do they do at Disneyland? What does the stand-in pink do in the house other than be the trained poodle? So, the parents are from pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. Their jobs are D1s in humanitarian services, the jobs. Osro, that later on became TCUA and USA, all funded by the UN, based in Rome. Now, why Laura Quintus and all those people are defending the parents? You should go ask them yourself. With such parents. Maybe you should change the world yourself with your jobs. Maybe you should change your world with the sciences on the coastlines that are dead. Yourself, us. Bruno. So that's all news on the news, okay? So I am not going to be here, keep defending myself against assholes who want me dead because they're fucking psycho nature or they're cheerleading college frat boy or psycho or whatever. I'm just not here for that. I'm not here for the extras. And I'm not an extra. Disneyland is not an extra. She's here for a specific reason. The reason was the shit that was lost on the ghost lines with the space tech and the corporations that are, till today, speaking about not Polish repercussions, but Russian, Saudi, Egyptian, Italian, and British repercussions. Not to mention Germany, speaking about a space phenomenon with their head smashed in on the ghost line. Me! Disneyland. So when you speak about terrorists, you better look at yourself, US. And if you do kill Miss Innocence, I'm sure they'll find another way to sue your ass. For fun. They're your fun. It's going to cost you. It's going to start costing you. The losses within your country are going to start costing you. Because you are terrorists. You're not patriots. You're just assholes. The whole bunch of you. Including your fucking stalkers and cheerleaders. And that's official on paperwork. Considering I don't like using the word paperwork for myself. Let alone what we were speaking about, the parents. The parents, as it says, born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities. So nowhere near capital cities. The child was born in a capital city. So you have hills and then you have mountains beyond the hills. In other words, you have to be on the roof of the library. You have that many hills, that many runnings. You can call them runnings. And there's hills. And then they end like this, there. And then there's mountains. You actually have to be on the hills to see the mountains beyond the library in DC. And then you have the ground. And the ground is a child who had her head smashed in on the ghost lines with all the sciences and all that shit shipped to yacht to bridges. That's all news on the news. So don't you fucking try with me with your limousines and your psychos. Disneyland. You have less balls than a dead baby. And you're still trying to kill Disneyland because it makes you feel special inside. No wonder you have so many Dr. Parrots additional paperwork for you and your fun. Your fun. Sharing the coastlines, you ain't no patriot. Fresno, you're certainly not a patriot. You're assholes. And bitches. And that's what went around the capital cities. In London, in Rome, in Berlin, in Warsaw Internationals, in Russia, in Arabia. And may I add, the reason they're saying to me not to look at the East Coast is this. How many times can you make a dead baby go back and forth like a scrambled egg for your entertainment? Therefore, when they said Scotland Film Sidekick, when they said Radio Globo, isn't it better to say roll for a time? You swipe Disneyland, there's no fucking sacrifice, but now, for this one, this big relic, little Disneyland particular corn cob to say roll for... Shut up. And you say to me that there's blues? Explain that concept. The girl had her head smashed and on the ghost lines. How you make blues out of that? Limits to growth. They speak about adoption agencies. Ma vattene a fanculo, va! That made round 80 countries. 81 if you add the US. So the retirements of the parents in this famous Fresno, it's intelligent, is almost, you know, when the hands drop, you bring back that baby from the ghost lines and you're still supposed to kiss their ass while they're sending psychos and assholes who any moment, don't like your fucking ass, I shoot your ass, bitch. You know, if I don't, because I'm afraid I'll have sex with you. But then they'll put me back because I'm a psycho. And then I'm going to follow you abroad. And then that Ukrainian guy is going to get in trouble too. And he starts suicide 25 times from university. In 2 years out, 26 times. So in front of you, I have a limit to how much this one can take. Okay. And as for Flatfoot trying to make prostitute out of me in Fresno, because their own wives are prostitutes and the fame of Tom and Jerry Diet Dolls, we have what we call the fame of Fresno's intelligence. For the parents or retirements. Oh my. Obviously that's not me. And so when you lost that shit on the coastlines, these assholes don't even know about Polish intelligence. These assholes have no fucking idea of the pink shit, and they want to graze and blacks corporations the shit that was void on the coastline. You fucking assholes. And they call them Flatfoot. Well, Americanas, Californicanas. Having said that, they didn't stop the psychos from coming near me. Did they? They didn't stop the cheerleaders from, showing their nature towards me. But the intelligence on the coastlines admitted it. They said, that girl did this and this. We fell. Many in the CIA fell with her. They had planned hers with her even. And others in other countries. Because it was a science thing. Something big. She was the leader of that. She did those goals. She was the breaker of that space. So the others who were flying and running with her, and the corporations and the professors, are simply going to stick to that girl. Mademoiselle Phenomena, smashed in heads, Disneyland. You're pissed off about something that you could see coming from China in your country, in all those capital cities. And then you have the pretenses for the void that happened, that I can't change. No one can change by now. And you're going to be sitting there and saying to me you're the most intelligent. Did you need Disneyland to show that to you, 221 US? It happened in your country. And you're pissed off you're paying for that shit with the corporations and other shit? And I can't do nothing about it. I'm the ghost of that girl. Literally, after you smashed her head on the ghost lines, a genetic particular corn cob, a trained poodle in the house. I'm still wondering why there's a Skogland film on Radio Global. Let's go back to the world out there. Let's go find out from the average Joes what they know even around the world, so you can keep denying and sending your cycles to them. Make you feel like woman and man. All right, so now you know why they brought back this one, to make you feel good about yourselves, okay? So don't talk to me about how intelligent you are in the US and every other country on the planet is stupid and you're so intelligent. This is not it's not sitting well already for me. And that was in Primo, so what they call Prima. Whatever you lost on the ghost lines was big. And whatever happened over there with all the death is your problem. You have to. Even Elon Musk moved to Texas. He refuses to say California. California dreaming and the beach at surf dudes. And you wonder why Disneyland has an attitude problem. She doesn't have an attitude problem. I don't have an attitude. You're creating my problems on purpose, for fun, and thinking that Disneyland is going to, for the rest of her small existence, bow down to you. No. It costs you, it's still costing you, and you don't want to admit it. This, my friends, is called White Delph. Wait, you know when they say intelligence can make the world a better place with its jobs, like the Barons, or for the worse if it dies with head smashed in the ghost lines with his eyes. Mi spiace, for better or for worse. In other words, if you can't even get the basics from someone like me by now, then, fuck you. Go to school, take your limousines, take your girlfriends, your boyfriends, make your... You see, I can't change the gossip. I can't change the intel, what happened on the ghost lines, the losses. And I can't change the gossip. And I obviously cannot change what's happening because of Fresno's retirements for the parents in the middle of the desert of California. I simply can't around the world. So you created your own little game, your own little la 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 la, and then you come back to Disneyland and you say, I hate your ass, bitch. Is that how you speak in the US? Is that what you really are? Is that what your college frat boys are? Is that what you want to reopen on the coastlines? Or what about the parents of Fresno? What about your verbal vitriol or your 5X bras at Fresno? Are you crazy? And you speak to me about unusual shit in history on the coastlines? You speak about unusual shit? I'll tell you unusual shit very soon. Laura Quintus and Nelly Direct in Brussels and in DC and the Supreme Court are defending both parents against your assholes and bitch holes. Girls are assholes too. What about the cheerleaders? The ones that are following me? Poor guys, you wanted to kill me, but you couldn't. You had to have sex. And then you suicided. Then you were waterboarded. When you put back to San Quentin Federal Prison. And the ones in London, the Ukrainian Nazis who are not even Polish, ended up being connected to you. My, Dr. Parrots. My extras. So what happened on the coastlines is something that I don't want to speak about because, you see, when they say I feel sorry for the US, they meant it. But they're laughing at you, the intelligence. They're not laughing at me. When you're going to get the losses are losses. For them, it's the more they lose with corporations around the world and intel, heights in space and stuff, the better it is for them.
Be sure
You see, so try and see that I'm not being bitchy about it. I'm just trying to explain that sometimes, if somebody has that kind of intel, she won't be alone. She will have corporates, and she will have professors, and she will have inner circles, and she will have scientists backing her, you see. So if that's old news on the news, and you're still hating the Disneyland replacement, nobody on this planet can help the US. Denying what happened on the coastlines, hating the replacement child to Wandel, comparing, I'm more intelligent than you when you can't even open the pink shit, let alone the grays and blacks of the space tag. It's old news on the news. I'm old. I am a replacement child. When are you gonna get that? A particular cord call or post, if that's even possible, after what happened on the coastlines. Now, please don't give me your limousines and your shit. Okay? Now, again, there's a Scotland film. But now change that shit. There's Radio Global, and that's it. For Fresno, where the parents are on retirement, we have Tom and Jerry Dyer, Ed Alves, and his buddies, and his friends, and his wingmen, and his girlfriends, and everyone else. That is involved in that. Many of the locals are tired of it. The veterans are tired of Fresno. And the thinking people are tired of Fresno. Because if you have the nursing homes and hospital, St. Agnes, and other places in that town, in that county, in the middle of the desert, for its fate, and 5 ex-broad girlfriends that are inventing shit. The intelligence communities, whether they're on the coastlines or elsewhere, will look at Fresno for the fact it is. And if that offends the Americans, then so be it. So be it. Okay? Scotlandville and Radio Global.